All right, there we go. We got some levels. Okay. You know, I like all of your conversations with the other side, but this one here, this one coming up is it's kind of special in a way that it really gave me, I mean, I believe in the soul and that our being at any given time is just one of many. We have many roles we play, and when it was described to me in the fashion you're going to hear in this next conversation, it really made me understand and put light on how I feel about civilization around the world in general.
Well, no, I mean, this is the whole reason for this podcast, is to educate and inform people that there are bigger things bigger than they are. It's not just about you. It's not just about this earth. It's about the whole experience and who we are, who we really are. And the fact that people need to wake up and start admitting those things and living life the way that we should be, with more love and respect for each other. So thank you for the compliment.
Oh, you're welcome. And
can I have a dollar?
A dollar, like a dollar.
I want a dollar.
A dollar. Yeah, but so I just wanted to say that it gave me a whole different perspective on why people like this next person you're going to have a conversation with exist and what they do for mankind. Hi, this is Brian White. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 39 of Celebrity Soul Speak with Brian and Renee. Conversations with the Other Side. Ted Bundy. My wife Renee is a spirit communicator. She speaks to those on the other side, and I've been a radio personality for over 50 years. The other side established communication with us because they wish to stay in touch with this dimension. They are our teachers, the invisible knowledge that helps us on our way. They have much to share and hope that those who listen will reflect on their messages.
I hadn't planned this conversation. I started watching a miniseries about Ted Bundy, which showed him from the viewpoint of his victims, the ones who survived, and through the eyes of a woman and her daughter who were in a 4-year relationship with him. The next morning, Ted contacted me on his own. The questions I had for Ted were not about his life here, but about his soul's existence after he passed over. We all know what he did here. I wanted to see him from a spiritual viewpoint. In this adventure, I've learned much about the soul, spirits, and our eternal life. This conversation is about that, the eternal life, and how it correlates to the life journey we participate in when we're here. This is recorded live. It has been speed edited because sometimes the souls take a little bit of time to get the words out. Other than that, unedited, baby. Hello, Ted. Ted says, hello, Renee. Thank you for speaking with me. Ted says, thank you for your interest in my life there. Well, I do want to set the record straight about how this life journey is part of the bigger picture, and I would like your assistance to do this. Ted says, sure. What can I do to help? Well, first, you know about us, right? Our podcast? Ted says, yes, it is well known here what you are doing. I was hoping to get my chance to speak. Oh, you can all speak, not at the same time, of course, but I'm accessible to your realm, as long as you're of the light. Ted says, well, I wasn't of the light on my journey there. Tell me about it. What were you sent here to accomplish? Ted says, you know how this works, right? Yes. Your soul agrees to manifest, here to grow and to learn. I liken the process to a TV movie or a play where there's a plan, a script, have you? You agree to perform your part, which is sometimes being a despicable human and harming others. There's a lesson in everything. Even the worst scenario is meant to teach a lesson. Ted says, pretty much sums it up. What was your lesson, Ted? Ted says, there are many moving parts, and it becomes very complicated. Just say that I did what I was sent here to do. As horrible as it seems, I needed, your world needed, my actions as a part of a bigger picture. Not every life we are given the opportunity to live is a pleasant one. What I don't think most people understand is that you're not just the soul Ted Bundy, we call it. Ted is just part of the larger spirit. He's an element of the whole. Ted said, yes, that is correct. This experience on earth as Ted is not what makes up my spirit. There are many other lifetimes and many other entities that are combined to form the larger being. There are lifetimes where components of my spirit have been a kind, loving, caring human experience. Well, can you tell us about some of those reincarnations? Ted says, I have had many experiences. I have a very old soul, I think you say. Most of my experiences there have been innocuous. A farmer in one life, a priest, a spiritual guide much like Buddha, a cowboy, and going back to the time of Jesus and beyond, I was a woman, a healer in our village, and I was there at the time of Jesus, a villager named Matthias. These are some of my lives there. I have had experiences all over the universes. We are not just Earth souls. When you look at things from a universal perspective, from the idea that our individual lives here are but a small part of the whole, much like the pieces of a pie, would you say the deviant character you played as Ted is a large part of your makeup? What does this role bring to the whole spirit? Ted says, yin and yang. There have to be some experiences there that are not good. Not all of life is always good. There is a balance, and part of our reason for coming there is to experience the positive as well as the negative. There are unpleasant experiences that make up every soul. They are not as violent as Ted always. Some are not even known. They hide and are never caught. Ted's journey was meant for mankind to see. Part of that is understanding that a good-looking, smart, engaging human can be a monster inside. You have no idea what is going through the minds of the other humans that are on the same journey as you. It was a wake-up call of sorts. During this time in mankind's development, humans were very loose. There was a feeling of letting down their guard during this time. It could not be sustained. Mankind had to wake up to the fact that there is evil. There are alternate lives that people live there. Everyone who met Ted thought he was a dream when he was their worst nightmare. And people, especially women, had to be awakened to be more alert and aware of the dangers of trusting those not known. This was done for a reason, preparing for the type of atmosphere that Earth's population was heading for. There are many evil souls there, and more are being made every day. Ted was sent to help mankind become more aware of the makeup of your population. Ted saved lives. Ted saved lives by sacrificing the few who all agreed to their part in the scenario as well. What is not realized is that everything that happens, good or bad, has been agreed to happen by the participants. So while it is a horrible experience for those who are playing their roles as victims, these experiences help to shape the direction that mankind needs to go in. You were alive during this time. Did this affect you in any way? Yes, it did wake me up personally. We were coming out of the peace and love movement. It now makes sense to me that we had to have a wake-up call to reset the mindset of humans here at the time. And I was more alert and more careful with men. How could you not be? Ted says, not all learned that lesson. Not all learned that trust is sometimes misplaced. You can't look inside of someone and know their intention, especially if the package that evil comes in is an attractive male or female. You tend to trust attractive people more. This lesson was for this reason. There is evil amongst you. It could be anyone. Always guard yourself. You don't know what your life's journey is there. You may be a victim, and that may be your life path. You can only spend your time there with the knowledge that anything can happen at any time to change the trajectory that you are on. If it's in your life plan, it'll happen no matter how much you protect or guard yourself. If it's the next scene in this play we're living, it'll be carried out, correct? Ted says, yes. Good summation. Okay, so why do we punish those who are only living out their life plan? Were you really responsible for your actions? Ted says, and that is the question. Because most humans having the experience there are not enlightened or are not actively participating in their journey there. They do not want to know what life really is. They do not acknowledge the afterlife, eternity, life on other planets. There is a part of the human psyche that wants to protect a human from this knowledge because it is believed that most humans do not have the capacity to understand what their journey really is. In order to keep everyone in line, mankind decided that punishment for actions that are not acceptable to the human race would be punished, even though these actions are part of the bigger picture. Humans are not evolved enough to be able to control that part of you, the ego, and others. Therefore, they feel there must be a deterrent for bad actions. The reality is that no matter what punishment you dole out for bad behavior, there will always be bad behavior. It's part of the circle. And looking at it this way, the punishment serves its own purpose, which is why it's in place. Told you it was complicated. Yes, you did. So, from your experience here, what advice do you have for mankind? Ted says, well, things have taken that dark turn from daisies and bunny rabbits, peace and love. More balance has been brought to the planet. There is more evil there now than in any time before you. I don't mean Ted Bundy evil. I mean evil in the sense that humans are not awake to the purpose of this life. For most, that we love and respect each other. There's greed, deception, and a lack of caring about the consequences of an action rampant in society. Religious persons who are molesting children, sports players cheating the game, politicians, many that do not have the best interest of their constituents at heart, serving only their egoic needs. A society that is poisoning the earth and its inhabitants so that they can make more money. I could go on. You get it. Understand that not everything is carved in stone. Life is fluid, moving, and changing constantly. Along with your individual life plan, there is free will, and that is where humans can make the difference. We could debate the concept that there is no way around your destiny. that life plans can't be altered, that it doesn't matter what you do, but that is for another day. For now, know that the basic premises of your existence is to experience a lifetime on earth, that you will learn and grow as a soul, but you will not know details until you are finished there and return home. Operate under the premise that everyone is there for the same reason, and love is the answer to all of the questions. Well, there you have it. Thank you, Ted. Ted says, thank you for what you are trying to accomplish. Podcast is to show mankind that this is not a linear. One of the purposes for producing this podcast is to show mankind that this is not a linear existence. We are so much more than most of us know. Good and bad, right and wrong, yin and yang. We're a balance of experiences. We aren't all good or all bad. Our lives were created to be a balance of all that there is. The universe steps in and makes adjustments where necessary. This is usually because we're not seeing the big picture and are focused on the wrong things. Call it a wake-up call. I don't discount the lives that were lost during this reset or the pain and suffering their families endured. And for those survivors, I find them to be true heroes, living through an experience like this and living to tell so that others are aware of the dangers of human society. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. Join Celebrity Souls Speak on Facebook at facebook.com/The Celebrity Souls Speak. And check out Renee's blog at commonsenseinwilmingtonnc.blogspot.com. Sense spelled CENTS.